This type of syllabus is called lexical. It's from the word lexicon, so it means the words. So here, for example, if you have courses for, let's say, a general course for elementary or intermediate or upper intermediate level or advanced levels, so here you have how many words in those levels you can teach. So here can be an example. If you teach like the most frequent words, so let's say 700 words, so 70 will be in text, 70 will be for speaking. The lexical syllabus, we try to have it as more comprehensive syllabus. Other type is called functional syllabus. So it is about functions, especially with communicative, for communication. So you try to teach like request, claim, suggest, agreement. So for example, you can have different functions. Like here you have 126 functions with groups and categories like this. For socialization can be different, for structuring discourse, communication, expressions, and all that. So the functional syllabus was known when they developed the course materials, especially for English, for some reasons. Why? Because it's more like a comprehensive view of the language. It focuses on the language use more than the linguistic form. So you can connect to other type of syllabus. So it is more convenient when you design the teaching materials, especially with the listening and speaking. However, the functional syllabus also has some critiques and disadvantages. Like sometimes it's not easy to have kind of selection or grading for the functions. Sometimes when you try to have it for the communication competence and proficiency, it's like simplistic view. And sometimes it's failed to address the process of communication, so it doesn't go deep to the communication. It's as surface and simple. So it is more like optimistic approach. So when you teach it, they view functional syllabus as separate component. And sometimes you know that, when you speak or communicate, it's more as overlapping, even with the functions. So the way they use it is like, a phrase book approach. So they teach expressions, idioms for different functions. So the students, when they study through the functional syllabus, so the focus will be on functions, but at the same time, they might miss some significant grammatical structures. So these are the advantages of the disadvantages of functional syllabus. Other type is called the situational syllabus. So it's about what? The situation, the context that you use for communication. Here an example. For example, the context of travel or the context of education. So those different contexts. Also, the situational syllabus has some critics, disadvantages, like so for example, when they focus on situations, so the selection of the situation based on the intuition will be little. So for example, if I want to teach my student about a specific situation, about to travel, so maybe the language that used in that situation, the travel, might not transfer to other situation. The way we design the self will be as a phrase book approach. So it's like a book and have some phrases. So when you teach the grammar through the situational syllabus, it's like, you deal with incident situation. So that means the student might have some gaps in their knowledge about the grammar because they will not learn everything about the grammar. They will learn through some context and situations. So when we think about a situation, you have to think about the participant. What's the role? Kind of the communication, the skills or the behaviors. You have to think, is it oral or written text? You have to think about linguistic feature of the text in the situational syllabus. Other kind of syllabus called topical or content-based. So it's about theme, topics, units of content. So you start with topics, that's the focus. So the advantages of this type, when you focus on content, so that means it's more facilitation for comprehension and understanding. So it's focused on the meaning. You can teach the teaching skills areas. You will think about and consider the student needs, you meet the students, and all the skills will be integrated. And you can use real, authentic materials. So for the topic-based syllabus, as usually you can use it with the elementary, secondary schools, and also with ESL students as university higher level. So they try to integrate it with science, mathematics, social sciences, and other subjects. It's like the STEM. When you have a theme-based course, so it will be about high interest topic as a theme. So it can be, let's say, for 2 weeks, you try to teach all the skills through that theme. As a teacher, you try to meet the student needs and think about their proficiency level with the objectives and the content of the course. So you focus on the language and also the instruction on how you will teach that lesson. So the theme-based course, if you remember in EDIC, in a period of time, the way they use is like the theme-based course. So each week they have, or each 2 weeks they have a theme, and all the lessons and the classes and will be related to that theme. Whatever they discuss will be about the theme. A type of syllabus is called competency-based syllabus. So it is about the learner competency and proficiency and what level they have to master. They have to be related to a specific situation and activities. So what do you mean by competencies? It is a description of the skills and the knowledge and attitudes for effective performance of task and activity. For example, the work skill curriculum. So it's a curriculum designed based on what are the skills the student needs for employment. An example of this is I know some graduates who graduated from university. Right now, they have like a 6-month it's kind of training, and they train in skills related to employment, and it is with Emiratization policy, توطين, and HR ministry. So this can be the curriculum it was created. It's like work skills curriculum. If we think about the curriculum language competencies, so it can be related to topic or cross-topic areas. So when think about a topic, it refers to the context in which language is used. For example, the competency reports basic household problems is found in the topic housing. So when you think about the topic, so let's say the topic is housing. So it's all about the basic household problems. That will be the idea. If you have a cross-topic, so it's a topic which can occur in other topic areas. For example, the competency read and write dates from the cross-topic time and dates also occurs in the topics shopping, reading, expiration dates of foods, health, reading appointment times, banking and bills, reading the date, due and bills. Okay, so when you have a cross topics, so there are topics, it can be in different different like contexts. Like for example, as we said here, you learn about how you say a date, so you can use it in shopping, with the time, health issues, and all that. So it's like cross topic, okay, in between other topics. So the competency-based syllabus usually is for social survival and also work-oriented language program. Because about you try to improve the proficiency and the competency of the learner. So that can be for communication, socialization, and for employment and work. A type of syllabus is called skills. So the whole syllabus is organized based on the abilities or the skills: reading, writing, listening, speaking. So in this syllabus, you create kind of activities for the students to apply the skills and practice. So it can be as individual skill alone, or micro skills, or some skills together. So here you have examples for each skill. Here you have basic reference skills. So you can do this. If you think about skimming, when you skim a text, so you try to learn how to read. Scanning as a skill for reading. So you try to find out some information that you want. So with this, you try to code information in diagram, tables, graphs. So these all skills. Note taken, you try to take some notes. So some of the research mentioned that skill-based syllabus are good because they focus on the behavior and performance. The skill you learn, you can transfer it and use it in other situations. And the units they created, you can teach it and you can learn it as a student. So these are the advantages of the skill-based syllabus. There are some disadvantages or critics, like there is no serious basis for determining skills. They focus on discrete aspects of performance rather than on developing more global integrated communicative abilities. So the critics depends. So sometimes the focus on one aspect rather than all the aspects with the communication. Other type is called the task-based syllabus. So the focus is on a task, activity, or goal. You try to teach the language and use it through the task. It can be puzzle, reading a map, giving direction, and other types of tasks. This can be an example. For example, in our syllabus, we have 2 tasks. So for the 2 tasks, we have rubric, we have the criteria and all that. So there are some theories regarding the second language acquisition. Propose the task-based syllabus, as we explained previously in some of previous lessons. As they mentioned, they prefer it because it focuses on the performance and the behavior, and they try to transfer it to other situations, the skills, and also it can be teachable and learnable. There is two kinds of the task syllabus. So one is regarding the pedagogy, the teaching method. The other one is the real world task. It's authentic task. So here, if we think about the pedagogical task based on the second language acquisition theory, so they try to focus on the processes and the strategies of the language learning. So through those tasks, you try to combine different pieces of the information to form a whole. You have kind of activity, the information gap task. So you try to find and complete the activity by having the information and trying to complete it on the task. You have like problem solving to solve issues, like decision making task. You try to make a decision or action based on an issue. Opinion exchange task. You try to give your opinion and to reach agreement and discussion. So in general, we have the communicative activities, we have the task-based syllabus, we have real-world task, and we have the competency-based language teaching. So all we try to use it in different ways. So the task-based syllabus we can define it based on the what do we mean by task, how can we design and select the task, and how we develop it with accuracy and correctness. So the tasks are the activities that the learners involve doing something. When you mention the design and the selection is the procedures for the design and selection of the task. Sometimes it's not clear, and that the issue that some researchers and teachers, learners might find. So they will think about, okay, can they focus on accuracy or communication, especially for communicative task. So it is similar to the situation of our task. Sometimes we think about the accuracy because of the ABA style, the grammar, the writing, and that in the rubric. Even the procedure and the design selection of the task sometimes can be unclear in the side of the students. So that's the reason why we try to explain many times how can you do the task and how you work on it. Other type is called the text-based syllabus. So it's all about text, samples of extended discourse, so this can be related to the situational approach because you have it in a context. It can be also as integrated syllabus with different type of syllabus. So for a text-based syllabus, you can have different type of text as the examples here, as a story, report, complex exchange. So there are different type of text. So when you try to teach from a text-based syllabus, you can have 5-part cycle. So start with build the context for the text, model it, deconstruct the text, joint construction of the text, independent construction of the text, linking related text. So this regarding the text. So how you do it, okay? So it can be you build it, you deconstruct, and then you have joint construction of the text, independent construction, and linking related text. So this depends on how you want the text to be. So if you use the text-based syllabus, what are the advantages? So in this type, you teach explicitly, directly, the grammatical points in written and spoken text. You try to connect the text to social, cultural context. You try to create some units and you focus on developing some skills related to the whole text. So you can have a guided practice as they develop the language skills for meaningful communication through text. So those are the advantages. What are the criticism for the text-based approach? Similar to the competency-based approach, it focuses on a specific skill rather than more general language proficiency. It can be impractical in many situations, so it's not practical in some situation. The integrated syllabus So you have, for example, the grammar connected with the skill, test, task, with topics, functions. So it's all like integrated. So it depends on when you try to plan for the course, you decide what you want to choose. Now we'll discuss about how you develop instructional blocks. So the instructional blocks are self-contained learning sequence that has its own goals and objectives, and that also reflect the overall objectives of the course. It represents the instructional focus of the course and may be very specific, like a single lesson, or more general unit of work consisting of several lessons. So, for example, when you have your unit or your syllabus, you have specific ideas and specific instructional blocks that you want to focus through your course. So you can have it a single lesson, or let's say a whole week or 2 weeks or a month just for that block, okay?